everybody. Can I get a mic check? Can you hear me? You hear me good? Oh. Hey, good afternoon, everyone. And thank you so much for being here. My name is Ban Tien. As always, last name spelled T-I-E-N, Metro Chief of Police. And I want to start by thanking the members of our press for taking your time out to keep our community informed. This is extremely important to get the information out there. And especially I want to thank the riders who take the time to report and see and what they hear on our system every single day. Your commitment, your vigilance, and most importantly, your comments matters. I do understand the concerns that made headlines in the last couple of weeks, but it is also important to remind everyone that we actually successfully carry out hundreds of thousands of rides every single day that was uneventful and most of the time without incident. I want to take this opportunity to thank the professionalism of our bus and rail operators, the staff, the supporting staff, and also the police officers day in and day out working out there to keep the community safe. Now, in responding to the incident that we just talked about, at least those, the incident that made headlines, I just want everyone to be mindful that we, the Metro and the Metro Police Department, cover over 1,300 square miles, 4 counties, the city of Houston, including 14 additional cities surrounding Houston. How do we do this? We do this by continuously working to evaluate, process, and safety measure to keep our riders safe every single day. Let's make it clear, safety is and will continue to be our highest priority. We have been taking and continue to take clear strategic steps to strengthen the safety of our system. That include deploying additional resources, uniform, and sometime undercover officer in our system. So to the public out there, there are resources out there every single day. Some you may see and some you may not see, but they are out there. Because increasing presence helps. It helps deter crimes, it helps support faster response, and most importantly, it helps provide our riders and the operator a peace of mind that we have the resources to support out there to keep them safe. And for the first time for many years, as long as I can recount, and based on what the archival data provide to me, that we are at a position that we are fully staffed at the front line officer responding to calls, but we can always do more. However, we will and we continue to do more. We have developed additional focused deployment strategy, working in collaboration with our local partners, regional partners in this region, law enforcement partners, including, but not limited to, the Houston Police Department, perhaps DPS, Harris County, and all our precinct partners. And we are in position to work with our additional partners in the medical center and also outside agency within these areas that have a direct nexus, a connection to our system. By doing all of this, it helps. But the most important thing is I want to remind our riders, when you do see something, please say something, leverage our comment box, and leverage our reporting process to let us know, because you are the closest contact to the problems, the stuff that we need to resolve, and collaboratively, we can work together to make our system safer. With that said, I would like to open up for questions.
The incident yesterday involving the mace, I understand you believe it may be unintentional, the release, and if that's so, you're still looking for anybody involved?
So that's actually a great question. So just kind of be mindful, there's a lot of footage we still have to review, and even as of now, it's less than 24 hours from the event when it actually occurred, right, from 2 p.m. yesterday. So we still have a lot of surveillance video, stuff we got to go through. So right now, as we speak, and again, I do want to emphasize it is preliminary. Things may change as the investigation progresses. We don't believe at this time that deployment of whatever the chemical was specifically targeted at an individual. Now, we all, with a high level of confidence, have determined the chemical that was deployed appears to be, at least believed to be, is basically a personal protection spray that is readily available in the open market. But that is a great question. But at this point, we don't believe it's basically anyone was targeted with the deployment of it. But also be mindful if anyone have any experience using the mace, or what they call it mace, pepper spray, how we want to couch it in a civilian term. When you're in a close proximity, in close confinement, meaning the fact that, i.e., yesterday within our rail system, when the air is circulating, one small drop can potentially impact a lot of people, right? And those, I know what your follow-on question may be, if those that actually were quote unquote, taken to the hospital, it was simply just for a precautionary measure to make sure they get evaluated because they may get exposed to certain irritants. That's part of the investigation. That's still part of the investigation. You can only imagine there are like all this footage. We have to go all the way back, and we have to screen through all this footage, right? A lot of camera footage we have to go through.
And two questions about that. Have you all identified the person who you believe whose mace it was?
That's actually a great question. So because of our officer diligence, the due diligence, we are able to tentatively right now identify a person of interest because that will take additional follow-on investigation. Great question.
And we had another question. We know right before the mace incident, there was another incident with a woman who may have had an altercation with police officers. We wanted to see if that affected this investigation and if y'all were able to use sort of the same cameras and things like that, or both of them. Like, how did that play in?
So to your point, the incident did not involve our police officer, but it involved one of our civilian fare inspectors. So with that said, actually her injuries was pretty substantial. But thank you to the quick response. The technology we have available to us, similar technology out there, basically allow us the quick response to apprehend the suspect yesterday that assaulted basically one of our fare inspectors. But I do want to take a moment to kind of ask everyone to keep our fare inspector in the prayers because she went through surgery this morning. It seems to be successful at this time.
And did that impact the response to the mace incident? We know it happened at about
It almost occurs simultaneously or concurrently, right? But yeah, every response is unique, and every response is different in its ways, and both are just as high, require the high priority response.
So it isn't like all the officers were on one, so they were unable.
No, they are, right? So we have to spread our resources across, and then, yeah, that is correct. No, yes, ma'am.
And where was the location that the fare officer was injured?
It's towards the medical center, in the proximity of the medical center. By the time the suspect was finally taken into custody, it's probably towards like the red line, which is our rail system, run all the way to Memorial Park out in that area.
We have another question. Are people, I know we get reports all the time about people not paying fares on the buses as well as the rail. What are y'all doing to ensure that people do pay? And is that something that y'all are focusing on?
So that is actually you're asking a lot of great questions. So this is exactly what we do right now. Like I said, we want to be strategic and intentional how we best deploy our resources. So in the upcoming perhaps weeks or short time period, we are going to collaborate with our regional partners to kind of increase presence in those lines, right? By enforcing fare is this one of the enforcement activities that we will be continue to follow up on. Yes, ma'am.
And speaking of resources, the van pool. We know that that has been out of service for about a month or so. What can you tell our viewers? We know a lot of people are concerned about why it's gone and when it's coming back.
So I would like to answer that question, but I have to defer that to the subject matter experts because my scope and my focus is primarily at the safety, the security, and on and on. Yes, but I will defer that. Actually, we'll get back with you on that question.
No problem. No problem at all.
Anything else? I don't have the numbers in front of me right now. Every month that we brief that via during the board meeting. So those are readily available. So what team can definitely send you the stats. But just be mindful to how you categorize crime, right? That's important. So you can be specific what you're asking for. So with a high level of specificity, if you ask me what you're looking for, we can provide more accurate and timely data.
And I have a question regarding that. Sorry, I promise you, this is my last question. But I wanted to ask about that crime database. Because we have seen, I know we looked at it about 6 months ago, we've seen the numbers change. And we wanted to see how accurate are those numbers on that crime dashboard. What would be the reasoning for any of those numbers changing? When you look at like past incidents.
So you perhaps asked a question before my time. I may or may not have all the answers for it, but what I can say is, with a high level of confidence, the reporting requirements that we have with the National Transportation Authority, that reflecting on our site is accurate.
Got it. So
Yes.
could there be changes in the way that these crimes are categorized?
Based on the reporting standard, it will remain pretty constant, but just like anything else, the national standard, whatever that may be, as they shift model, focus additional emphasis, and add additional requirements, those numbers may perhaps change in the future, but I don't know. We're based on the authority, what the ask is, right? For instance, certain crime may get captured certain ways, but if the criteria changes, we have to adapt to it.
Based on these incidents, if like you said, at Hemlock, what's your message to people who are concerned about using Metro services?
That's a great question. You actually wanted me to drive home that message. Safety is and will be and continue as long as I'm the chief of police with the Metro Police Department is not one of the most highest priority, it's the highest priority. So I want to gain your trust and your confidence and through your commitment. The most important thing is I need when you see something, please report it. Don't just call in, report it with a high level of specificity, i.e. this is the bus I'm in, this is the stop I'm at, this is the suspect description. You can only imagine, right? Also respond to a high priority call. There's a lot going on in the mind. So the more details you can provide, the better off they can respond. Not just by calling a number, we also have a text line. If those stuff that can wait, you can go into our website. It's basically crm.rymetro.org, and you can go in detail with those comment boxes, put those comments. So we, from our perspective, law enforcement perspective, we can focus on certain things that our resources are needed most. Just be mindful, a few hundred police officers, thousands of square miles, 4 counties, a lot of cities. We need to have the ability to deploy our resources where it's best utilized. The folks that can do this to us, despite the best technology, computers, system, process, whatever it is a human intelligence that come in contact with those problems every single day. So thank you. That's a great question.
One last question? Nope, we're good?
But that's going to be part of the investigation, right? As you know, it's all preliminary. You know, I don't want to make any assumptions. And on top of that, I don't want to speculate either. So I want the information that I put out, it's going to be at that moment as accurate as it could possibly be. So that's a fair question. Well, thank you so much. We absolutely will be, once we get it solidified, you know, to make sure that, that we are almost 100% sure that that is the individual. As you notice, a lot of hours of footage, of video, we have to go through.
So y'all haven't spoken to this person?
At this point, not yet.